When you have the message of hope for people, hope for now and forever, when you have so much in terms of people, space, money, values and unity, which we did and do, when your main ways are having great effect for some but little effect for many, when you don't have to drop all the main ways that have some effect to try new ways, when what matters is the original messenger more than the cherished ways of conveying his message, when your aim is to find out what pleases God and go for it wholeheartedly, when it's okay to try things and fail sometimes and learn and move on, when he promises to come with us in power and guide us by his Spirit, when we hit on what it means to try things in his name, then what follows carries with it responsibility, opportunity and adventure. And we convey that message to our church for quite a while, just in terms of, let's just think outside the box, if you like, about what could we be doing. And we conveyed those values for a while, and we began to think it might be this Fresh Expressions alternative gatherings type thing, missional communities type thing, but we would need to work out our way of doing it. And we've made some progress with that, but we would never have made it much further without Ellen coming onto our staff and helping us get to the next stage of actually doing some stuff. So I'll hand over to her.
So perhaps I'll just describe a little bit about our model and what our alternative gatherings actually look like. And one of the key values for us right from the beginning was that they were very organic. So we started small, we started with just 2, and we grew from there. We didn't have any kind of launch, this is what our plan is. It was, let's just try some things. And it was really important to us that we started where people were, where their heart was. So really what we said to our church was, is there something in you that's got a passion for a particular people group, or a particular hobby, or a particular area of service that you could build a sense of community around and use a Sunday morning to meet that need? And if you have, come and talk to us about it. So people would come, perhaps with an idea, and really we were willing to try pretty much anything. We had no preconceived ideas. People would come and we'd start to talk about it and see if other people had a similar kind of heart, and if they did, we'd build a little team. And then when we had a little team, we would think about a name. We would give this particular alternative gathering a mission statement. So every single alternative gathering has got a mission statement to keep the missional intention of that particular gathering. And then they'd be commissioned. So we'd bring them up the front on a Sunday as part of our service and say, this is a team who want to go out and serve in a particular way. Here's their mission statement, here's what they're about to do. And we would send them out to do that. So what we have now, is it the arrow?
Yeah.
We've got 8 alternative gatherings currently. There's 9 up on the list there. One of them we tried, and it happened for several years and isn't running at the moment. And each of them is monthly. So what we're saying to our people is, could you give us a Sunday morning a month? There are 8 opportunities to be part of church as we currently do it, Sunday morning, Sunday evening. So across the course of a month, we've got 8 Sundays, 8 opportunities to come and be together. Could you give a Sunday morning to go out and be good news through a hobby or a people group or an active service in the community? And these are currently the ones that are running. Let me just tell you really briefly about them. So we have Sports Plus, which is a family-based sports event in the local college. We now get about 120 come to that, at least half of which are Christians. And it's fun and games and trampolining and soft play and climbing wall and table tennis, with a half-time team talk, with a testimony and some discussion and a Bible story and a craft for the younger kids, and then a second half. We have Common Threads, which meet in the local school, ladies craft, knitting, creative arts, coming together with a project, halfway through stopping for coffee and cake, and someone sharing a thought, a story and some prayer. Early Birdies, which is an early morning round of golf on a Sunday morning, a second half of a round of golf. And someone will just kick off with a thought as you're playing golf. Chat about this on your way around and play the round of golf, and then go to the clubhouse afterwards for breakfast or a coffee. Heart for Parklands, which is the estate that our church is on, the Parklands area. A group of people will meet in the church and pray, and then go and visit local people who are shut in and isolated in the community. Not pastoral care if in our church, but people who aren't Christians in the community. Mud, Sweat and Gears, which is a biking group for those who are a much keener biker than I am, who will go out on one Sunday a month and with other people who love biking, like their friends, and they will bike up and stop and read a psalm and look at the view and share together, and then carry on with their ride and then have breakfast together at the end. Sunday lunch is a lunch for local homeless. They meet in a different venues of the church, so people will meet and prepare lunch for a local homeless community. Table talk, which is a kind of pub-based faith chat. Come and buy breakfast for your friends and talk about issues of life and faith and spirituality. Seeding Ministry, which is a group that again meet in the church and then go out and take a service in 6 different nursing homes in the area. And then Walk and Talk, which is a walking group to meet in a local place and then go off on a walk together and stop halfway round for someone to share a personal testimony or some kind of inspiring story or passage. And it's just been a brilliant journey for us. One of the keys has been using Sundays, really, recycling our Sundays, rather than tacking mission on as an extra, rather than expecting our people to come to a home group and a Sunday service and spend time with their family and make some more Christian friends and be really with it in their frontline place. Oh, and by the way, could you do some mission? Actually, could you give up a time when you're already committed to us and use that to share God's love in some kind of way? And it's really important to us that they are lightweight and low maintenance. So all of the admin and the financing of them and the resourcing happens centrally. So we make that happen centrally to make them easy to run and straightforward to run and not expensive. It's not an enormous part of our budget in any way. So that's our model, and that's what we currently have.
You can get more details of that from the website there. Just some clarifications. So we get some of the inspiration for this and some of the models from it, from things you'll have heard of around the country and happening globally. Things like fresh expressions, clusters, alternative gatherings, other people call them that as well, missional communities. You may also be aware there's a really interesting theological debate, which we've totally bypassed, about whether these things are church or not. It's an interesting debate, but we're taking the view that if these things are happening once a month, plenty of our committed people miss one a month anyway. And so we ask a different question to are they church, which is, are they good news? Are they helpful? Are they happening? Because if we can get away with doing it once a month and they're with us the rest of the time, and we positively discourage them from getting involved in more than one, then we're happy with that. The second thing to say, by way of clarification, is that don't confuse this with churches who do any of these activities at other times in the week. It is very significant to us that these are happening on a Sunday, particularly on a Sunday morning, for a number of reasons. One, it conveys value. It's saying, that this is actually a way of us meeting together as church, if you want to use that language. And secondly, it just works. It's not asking for extra time from the people involved. And families can split up a bit. And some families bring their kids to church, go off and do an alternative gathering, and couples do different things or do different alternative gatherings. At the door, at the end of a Sunday service, we're greeting almost as many people coming back in from an alternative gathering, asking how it was for them, as people going out saying thank you for what we've done. It's that kind of a feel that we've got. And I guess the third thing I say is, please don't view this as something only a larger church could do. We just think that could a small church do one alternative gathering once a month that fitted this? Would it be good news if they did that? So there are clarifications.
So we are 4 years into this journey now, and we've learned a lot on the way, lots of sort of reflections and principles, things that have gone well and gone not so well. We reckon about 2/3 of our regular committed church people, members or committed people, are involved in one. And what's brilliant about it is, because there's no obligation, there's no tension, it's just generally a win, good news, because you don't have to be involved in one. If for whatever reason you're new, you're really tied up with your work in your front line, it's a big commitment to us that people are freed up to serve God in their workplace and can't give the time or the energy. If they're burnt out for some reason, or for whatever reason, none of these tick their box right now, that's really okay. But people also know it's a high value for us, so we'll talk about it regularly. So every Sunday morning when you come to our church, one of us will be saying, great to have you here. Lots of us are here, but there are also 2 or 3 different things happening out. And just encouraging as many people as possible when they want to get involved and to serve in one. We think we're probably reaching as many people out as in. So if we get 350 on a Sunday morning, we are easily making contact with 350 people on a Sunday morning over the course of a month out as well. we're actually wanting to run a conference day about this now. Mostly because lots of people are just asking us to kind of share our story. I think now we've been going for 4 years, we've learned some things and I've got some things to share. So we're putting on this conference day on the 25th of March. We've got some publicity and we can make it available to anybody via email also. Really just inviting leaders and teams and keen volunteers just to come and hear our story. Not in any way to say this is a model to copy. This is what's been right for us in Chichester. But actually, is there something in what we've learned that might help get our church people out of the building and make that transition to not just being a kind of attractional church, but also going and being where people are. And if you know people or would like to encourage people to come to that, we'd love to share that day with people. The details are up there. Perhaps just one story, and then if you've got any questions, you can ask us. There's been lots and lots of good things happening. It's a long ministry, it's a seed sowing ministry. There's been lots of good fruit, but there's just one particular story to share, and it's of a guy that we know called Aaron. His wife was a Christian, and he was very, very much not a Christian. Very point blank refused to be engaged in any way with alcohol and so on. But her and the kids started coming to Sports Plus, and he came along to Sports Plus because it was not threatening. It was just playing table tennis with his kids and sitting through a little bit of a talk. And he describes hearing somebody sharing their testimony, a short 10-minute testimony, and there was a man the same age, same stage of life as him, just sharing how he felt God called him to come out of business and get involved in a different ministry. And he just really took that on board, that there was a man at the same stage as him talking meaningfully about faith in a way that made a difference, and it really made a connection for him. And from that, he decided that he would do the Alpha course, and he became a Christian, and we had the privilege of baptising him, and I was fully involved in the life of the church and this network. And I guess he's a picture in miniature of why we're doing what we're doing. If we're really honest, most people in our communities will never come into our building, however brilliant our services and however brilliant our activities. Is there a way that we can encourage our people to go to where people are rather than expecting people to come to us?